what are possible relations between attention and consciousness? So the relationship between attention and consciousness is a controversial topic. And in this lecture, we look at the classification scheme that is proposed by Victor Lame, and that separates operationally first attention and consciousness, and then look at in a serial manner or parallel manner how it looks, how it relates to the stimulus processing, like this scheme. Okay, the first class of attention and consciousness relationship is the following kind of models. So here, attention determines what becomes conscious and what's not. So that's the first kind of step. Visual inputs arrive at the brain in a various modality and various locations, like here. And then subset of that is selected and potentially enhanced. And then unattended one is the one that is selected or selected to be suppressed or not selected. And then attended one becomes conscious and then result in the conscious report. And then another potential form is that at the time when they are thinking about attention, attended and unattended, some of them remains unconscious. Let's say, if you are thinking about some very, very, very small stimulus, a very weak stimulus, it's just impossible to select attention by attention, and then that remains unconscious. And then again, within our attended ones, it leads to conscious state and then conscious reports. That's basically the same kind of mechanism. Okay, so that's the one model. And then another model is this consciousness comes first. So among all these stimulus that arrives at the brain, some of them already becomes available for consciousness. So you see periphery and you hear it, basically, that arises to, conscious awareness, and the some remains unconscious state. And then within, what we see, we can select and attend, and then some of them, this, figure or this pen becomes attended, and then I report it. But I also have unattended kind of experience somewhere around here. That's the kind of the model. Consciousness comes first. So many more inputs reach conscious state. Yet to report about this, we need attention. And this and the last one considers consciousness and attention in a serial manner, right? Whether consciousness first or attention comes first. Then next two classes of the model considers consciousness and attention in parallel, in a sense. So input can come to brain, and then all of them are processed in parallel, but focus of attention kind of shifts, rapidly, and each of them can become consciously available at the same time. So outside of this focus, it's always unattended, hence unconscious, and attended, and hence conscious. But this happens simultaneously. There's no before or after kind of thing. So it's almost saying that attention is exactly the same as consciousness and also conscious report. Then another parallel model is this thing. It's consciousness and attention to be orthogonal. So what this model says is that among the things that comes into the brain, there are conscious and attention sort of mechanism of filters are happening at the same time. So some of them becomes conscious, and then some of them remains unconscious. But at the same time, attention also operates at the same time. And then this attention can actually select both conscious and attention, conscious and unconscious. And that result in many different kind of things. One is that here, this is a conscious but unattended, phenomenal awareness only. And then here, this is a conscious and unattended. And that's access awareness or something that you also consciously report. And then on the other hand, there are two more interesting kind of situation here. which is that within attention, but unconscious. So that's something that we'll talk about next week. But masked prime or blind-side attended behavior is something like this. And then another one is the unconscious and unattended. So this is in a sense, darkest kind of the process. Okay. So in summary, many options of relation for consciousness and attention have been proposed before. And then one axis to separate these models are they related in a serial manner or in parallel, attention and consciousness? And then another one is that is one necessary for the other? Is attention necessary for consciousness, or is consciousness necessary for the other, attention? Same can be asked about sufficiency. As long as you are attending, can we really guarantee that it's always conscious, or the vice versa? And then the next video will ask whether it's possible to manipulate attention without changing consciousness. And this is necessary kind of question to separate which one of the models are more likely to be true. And this will get some inspiration from NCC strategy, fixing one, but changing the two. All right.